This is My Quebec City. Your city, your stories. Not much says summer, like baseball. And locally, not much says summer, like the Québec Capitales. Since 1999, the team has been a huge success, on and off the field. And it all started with the vision of one man, Miles Wolff. On this episode, we talk to someone who has one of the very best seats in the house and has from the very beginning, Miles' son, Hoffman. So Hoffman, what's your story?
I first moved to Quebec City in 1998 with my family. My dad came up to set up the team. So I lived in Quebec City a little bit during high school. I went back to the United States, where I'm originally from, for university and worked there for a few years, and then moved back to Quebec City for work in 2013 and have now been here 12 and a half years.
Back when your dad decided to start the Capitale, what did you think not only about moving to a different country, but an area that was so different culturally and linguistically than where you were from?
I think I was pretty excited for the adventure. I don't remember being real hesitant about it. Looked forward to it. I'd spoken a little bit of French. I'd learned it for a few years in school, and my mom's Franco-American, so she taught me a little bit growing up, but certainly was, I didn't have a ton of French. But I was ready for a different challenge, and I was looking forward to being here.
Did the team help you integrate in the sense that maybe at school there were people who learned, oh, hey, that's Hoffman, his dad started the Capitale, and you were kind of like an intriguing dude?
Not too much, because it was a new team and people didn't quite know what it was. I think if, say, for example, my dad had come in and bought the team and everybody knew, it might have been a little bit different. But there wasn't too much of that. But the idea of a professional baseball team, Quebec City hadn't had baseball, pro baseball, since the 70s. So I think the idea that, an American family, an American would move up here for the purpose of starting a baseball team was a bit puzzling, if anything. But yeah, the team was still an unknown when I first got here.
This one is a bit more about the team directly, but you're a guy to ask, so do the players get any kind of special integration coming here to a francophone market? Because obviously there's Trois-Rivières in the Frontier League with Quebec, but it is a very unique market in the league. So for the guys who are English, Canadian, American, Latin American, wherever, and their first language, and maybe not even a second language, isn't French, do they get any kind of cultural or linguistic integration when they come?
Not too much. For professional baseball, you're playing every day, so you don't have a lot of downtime to do French classes or anything like that. I think they get, they may get a few words and phrases to use around town. But Quebec City's generally bilingual enough that if you're here for 3 months and playing baseball every day, you can get by mostly in English. That said, there are some players from the States or from Latin America or even one from Australia who have stayed. Often they'll meet a local girl or anything, and they'll stay during the off season and have made their lives here, and they've learned French and they've become a part of the community and part of the city here.
Since the Capitale debuted, have you noticed any kind of higher interest in the sport just around the city, minor baseball signups, even just anecdotally?
I think more than anecdotally, I think the numbers bear that out. Baseball Quebec keeps the registration numbers, and I think it's certainly grown. Granted, Quebec City's population has grown, but it dipped, I think, especially the loss of the Expos in the mid-2000s hurt baseball interest and participation in general. But since then, I think it's grown over the last 15 years, and certainly I think the awareness and interest in baseball it's a good baseball province. It has a good baseball history, same with the city. So I think the Capitales have, they're very involved with local baseball, so they contribute to that quite a bit. Throughout the rest of the province, sometimes little league teams from Sept-Îles or Baie-Comeau or Rimouski or anything like that, they come down here and play a tournament, and they'll be the kids running out onto the field before the game. So the Capitals really, and there's the team in Three Rivers as well, but they're sort of the flagship for baseball in the province right now. I was just hearing on the radio after the Capitals won the championship September now, it was a reporter from Montreal saying he's seeing more and more Capitals gear in Montreal, people wearing it. So interest in baseball in Quebec City and in the province remains strong, and the Capitals have quite a bit to do with it.
For any sports team, being accessible and out in the community is huge. But the very biggest thing, of course, is winning. And the Capitale have done a whole bunch of that in 26 years. 11 championships, including the last 4 in a row. Just an unbelievably successful team on the field, at the gate. I mean, Stade Canac is sold out constantly, the best attendance really in the Frontier League. You've been here for all the big moments and ones in between. What have you loved the most about all of it?
I think seeing the growth of it to where it is today, from the first year, thinking about the stadium before the Capitals was not in very good shape. There was some talk in the early 90s of even tearing it down. Kind of little by little, the stadium's gotten better. That picnic deck down the left field line, originally it was a small wooden deck, maybe half the size of this room, and every year they added a little bit on. So it's become this major part of the atmosphere at Capitals games. So seeing and even seeing their presence in the Quebec City community, the way that they've always had very good media coverage, and still today, even though local media in general is not what it was 25 years ago, they're still seen as a major part of the sports scene here in town, whereas when they first got here, they were sort of this niche curiosity a little bit. So I think just seeing that for any minor league sports team, especially independent ones, it's making it 10 years is a challenge. So to see that 26 years later, the team's still here and going strong and is far beyond in terms of revenue, attendance, all these things, what it was when it was started is really a remarkable achievement. And that's a testament to the people. My dad sold the team in 2010, 2011. But for the last 15 years, it's so important to have local owners, local investors, and the way they've been able to make it grow and make it kind of resonate and connect with a larger community.